Welcome back to Gurkirat vlogs, and thank you so much for showing love towards the previous video that we put regarding the Makindu Gurudwara. We were not expecting that much of love and support, but honestly you guys really surprised us. The number of subscribers even increased, and the number of views, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they're doing well, and we're happy with the progress. Thank you so much. It's not possible without your love and support. So now we had a bit of viewers who had mentioned that we missed out certain points of the Gurudwara we should have mentioned for the youth. To be honest, we do apologize to all those people who feel that we may have missed out those points. It's something that we decided to do a quick video in 5 facts that are commonly known to the visitors. Yes, it would be lovely to state the history, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. But before I begin, I'd like to give a shout out and big thanks to Singh, who has actually assisted me in this project. He has actually shared the knowledge that he has regarding the history, and backing up the points that I had. So without wasting more time, let's move straight to the video. For this video, I'm going to narrate the history in a story manner, so you can understand the facts, how they went along, and I hope you'll enjoy this video. Please do watch the video till the end. Do not skip the video, please. It's going to be interesting, I promise you. Now, moving on. Did you know that this Gurudwara's first Darbar Sahib was actually built as a multi-purpose hall? Even I didn't know exactly. I mentioned in the previous video that the prayer hall number 1 was where I mentioned, and from researching further, I came to realize that the prayer hall number 1 was actually the multi-purpose hall. This is where Guru Gobind Singh Ji's painting is as you're going to his Langar hall. That was the prayer hall number 1. That is where the initial prayer hall was set up. This is the time of the railway construction. So now, because Makindu being the midpoint between Makindu and Nairobi, many Sikhs had started residing in Makindu at that time. So the interesting fact is that the trains could not go all the way to Nairobi from Makindu, because from Makindu I think there's a hill climb. So the trains needed an extra engine to be added to the back of the train, so they could have 2 engines taking the train towards Nairobi. So that's the reason why Sikhs resided in Makindu at that time. Then as time evolved, technology came in, still at the time of the railway construction. The trains were advanced basically, and there was no need to add a second engine to the train. So basically what you could do is you could just go from Mombasa to Nairobi straight. You don't need to stop in Makindu. So that's why, now because there was no basic influx in Makindu, the Sikh residents of Makindu started migrating. They started moving to Mombasa, some moved to Nairobi, and that sort of thing left Makindu Gurudwara abandoned. If I got it right, it's not fully abandoned, but yeah, it was abandoned to the point that not many Sikhs were visiting that place at that time. So what happened was, now that you know where the prayer hall is, that was point number 1. Now, the interesting fact is, because it was, I don't know why it caught fire, but the history says that it caught fire. The place caught fire, the first prayer hall, and everything burnt down in the Darbar Sahib. Every single thing burnt down in the Darbar Sahib, but Guru Sahib were left untouched. It was a shocking thing for the Sikhs. And it was so it's such a miracle basically that even I don't have words to say what others must have experienced seeing that kind of beautiful yet a drastic scene in front of them, that everything has burned down but Guru Sahib are still just the way they are, they're intact. So time evolved, now moving on ahead, and because still there was not much movement and not many visitors coming to the Gurudwara. There was not much of people taking care of the place, and it had bush around it. It was just a forest basically at that time, and it was basically infested with what do you call this? By termites. They were infested by termites, and they ate all the wood, they ate all the bastar, which are the clothes for Guru Sahib. They finished everything. But what was still intact were Guru Sahib. So Guru Sahib were left intact, like not even single bit of infestation on the living Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That's again another miracle that is stated in the history. Now moving on, because of these two incidents, they actually got someone to take care officially of that place, and with that person they had hired a local resident of that place also. His name was Mr. Gwalo, and as Mr. Gwalo was sleeping at night, this is something very interesting, you guys should listen carefully for the youth. Mr. Gwalo was sleeping at night, and all of a sudden it started becoming daylight in front of his eyes, and he could hear like an army marching towards him. The hooves of the horses getting louder, and they came closer, and he could just see some a Singh with beard, and with the kamar kasa, which is tied around the waist, and obviously the shastras, the weapons that the Sikhs carried at that time. They came, they tied their horse around a tree. The tree was basically where the Nishan Sahib is, a small Nishan Sahib. I didn't cover that. We didn't cover that in the previous video. So we showed you the tallest Nishan Sahib, yes. But next to it there's another Nishan Sahib. There's another flag, Sikh flag, where they tied their horse. Now this personality, I bet you've guessed it right, it was Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So how did we confirm this? So what happened was, when Mr. Gwalo saw this, he just kept seeing, he was in a shock. He's just seeing a white, very bright image. And Guru Sahib then removed their shoes. They walked towards the Darbar Sahib, the multi-purpose hall. They walked there, they went, they did parikrama, which is going around the Guru Sahib, Bir Sahib. They did their namaskar, they did their matha take, and obviously then when they exited, they took their horse, untied, and went the same way up in the sky. So Gwalo was very scared actually, and Mr. Gwalo then ran to this Sikh farmer who was actually employed to take care of that place, and he went there running. He was like, yeah, I'm really in a shock, and the Sikh farmer was like, what happened? So he was like, I saw someone. He explained how the person looked, and immediately the Sikh farmer showed him a portrait for Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and he's like, does he look like Guru Gobind Singh Ji? And he's like, yes, this is the guy who was there, this is the man who was there right now, I just saw him. And you can imagine that place has been visited by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and that gives me goosebumps, because it's just not only a beautiful place, but it's a blessed place. It has so much of miracles that have taken place over there that you wonder, like in Kenya, that's awesome. And moving on from there, then you've seen the point. So just doing a small recap. So point number one, we knew that it's in the midpoint of Mombasa to Nairobi. Then the second point we covered was that the Sikhs had started moving out, so it caught fire when it was taken care. No one knows. I don't know exactly why it caught fire, but if you know why it caught fire, please do mention in the in the comment box. I would love to know why it caught fire. I didn't get enough sources to tell me why it caught fire. So the prayer hall caught fire. Then moving on, the termites infested the Darbar Sahib, but Guru Sahib was still intact. Then Guru Gobind Singh Ji actually visited the Darbar Sahib, the Gurudwara, with their army. Makindu Gurudwara is known to have the largest in, not in dimensions, but largest in their weight terms. Gurukrat Sahib Saroop in the whole of East Africa. Obviously, these Saroop are called Pathar Chhap, which means, from what I understood from my friend Govind, he explained to me that Pathar Chhap is the one that is the alphabets, the text on the Saroop is by, you know, a stamped version of, you know, the letters are basically stamped. Each letter is stamped into the Guru Sahib Saroop. Each letter is stamped, not written by hand, not printed by a machine, but stamped. So there were stones that were cut out to that shape into the opposite direction, all of them, and then they were stamped. Each alphabet was stamped into the Guru Sahib Saroop. So this particular Saroop is not regularly the ang of 1430 angs, it's more than 2000 angs. So you can imagine that this place is actually home to the oldest and the largest Guru Sahib Saroop. So in 2010, I think, or 2011, the Guru Sahib Saroop was taken back to Makindu, and that's the time when Bhai Sahib Makindu Singh ji, the leading personality of Guru Nanak Nishkam Sevak Jatha, had actually done the seva of the train from I think Kisumu to Mombasa, Mombasa to Kisumu, I think Kericho to Mombasa. And that's when they actually took back that Saroop to Makindu, where it actually belonged. I don't want to go into details where the Saroop, how the Saroop went away from there. That's something I don't want to cover in this video. But you can imagine that this beautiful place is home to so many miracles and Guru Sahib Saroop that is worth seeing. And now the Darbar Sahib that is built on the left when you enter, as soon as you enter into the Gurudwara, the Darbar Sahib that is built on the left was particularly designed to actually hold, basically was actually designed for the big Saroop, for this particular Saroop. It was designed in that particular manner, and it was also designed to look like the very first Darbar Sahib. It was actually to imitate that environment. Obviously you can't imitate all that, because when you build, you know, fresh structure, it's always fresh structure. Old is old, you know, not old is gold, but old is old. And that's why even at this point I would like to request to the committee members, if you're watching this video, you know, please consider keeping the old structures of Makindu Gurudwara, why it was actually famous for, you know, why actually people visit that place, and the magical moments are all into that place. When you start destroying and demolishing and start bringing things to up to date, you're trying to keep up with the modern date, it's good, it's well and good, no harm taken. But the good thing is, you know, like the Darbar Sahib at the Darbar Sahib at the entrance, the one with the shed, you know, it's still the oldest Darbar Sahib, and I hope, my prayers are that Darbar Sahib stays intact, because when you go there, that's the Darbar Sahib that makes you feel like you're in Makindu, more than the other two Darbar Sahibs that have been built. Yes, they're there, but that particular Darbar Sahib just makes you feel like you're in Makindu. Now you have officially made it to Makindu. So when you start renovating those things and then you start making them, you know, looking different, it changes the whole point. And you know, it doesn't just end over there. This is the only Gurudwara with the Darshan Deori. So Darshan Deori is basically this that you can see now right behind Mansiman, and this was first entrance to the Darbar Sahib. So you know, this is a structure built by Hari Singh Bansal, who is the only Sikh architect to build such a structure outside of Punjab. Because this structure is found in normally the Darbar Sahib or the Gurudwara Sahibs of Punjab or India, where there is a place you walk in and there's a big hall, walkway, and then you walk in and then go to the Darbar Sahib. That's how this thing was designed. Right now the entrance is from the other main gate, and then you walk in. The Darshan Deori, people just think it's a matter of just sitting down there and, you know, giving out your stories and just making stories or talking to your friends. You put your chairs and talk to friends. No, this was actually meant to be a walkway. From there, you're supposed to now go there and enter into the Darbar Sahib. So which again during the modern era, it has changed. It has drastically changed from what it was before and now. Anyway, but it's okay, as you know, we progress. Obviously things will never remain the same, but it's just a small request that at least some things should be left untouched. Yes, take care of it. Maybe like, let's say if the paint has started peeling off, you can obviously do the paint work on it. That's good. But some things I believe that should be left untouched. They should not be, renovated to the point that if it's a wall, and this wall was built by, like, let's say the Sikhs at that 1980 something or 1880, and now you come and you just start putting, tiles all around it. So you've taken that, significance away. Come, renovate it. Yes, take care of what they left us with. Sorry, my skin just went blank. So this is what I wanted to put forward to all the people watching this video. You need to know what Makindu Gurudwara actually holds, and keep supporting, guys. Keep supporting. There's nothing else that can really motivate me apart from your support. I upload videos so you guys can watch and share with your friends and family. So I hope you will also keep doing the same. You'll share it with friends and family, and this video goes viral as the previous video. If I have offended someone, I do apologize, but at this point I have had to put my point forward, and obviously I think I do share my sentiments with many other members of the youth out there who are concerned about the Gurudwara renovations that go into place at any given time. So and I hope we'll see you in the next video. Until then, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to the video, and bye bye.